There's a lot in these scriptures to captivate our attention and to express the significance of this biblical location. And also the significance of God's providence, that in his wisdom he chose to manifest his divine identity in the context of a wedding. And we hear that in the Old Testament, God referred to his covenant with his chosen people as a spousal relationship. Isaiah refers to God as our maker, as the bridegroom, as a love, that God has a love for his people as a husband has for his wife. And so Jesus came to bring about this mystical marriage between our humanity and God. Without going too in depth in these scriptures, because we have limited time, there's going to be another group coming at 9 o'clock, and I want to be able to allow our couples to really receive the grace of the renewal of their marriage vows. And so this Mass, in addition to the intentions that you've written down there, is going to be for the couples who are here present, number one. Two, those of you who are married, but your spouse isn't present, I invite you also to renew your covenant with your spouse who's back at home. And simply as they're renewing your vows, hold in your hand your wedding ring and renew your vow in spirit and truth with your spouse. And invite the Lord to bring healing to your relationship if there's a need of emotional healing, of forgiveness, of restoration, of resurrection in your relationship with your spouse. The third intention, that's the second. The third intention for those who are widowed or divorced, or actually widowed. For those who are widows, to pray for the eternal rest of your spouse, that they may rest in the peace of Christ in the kingdom of heaven. The fourth intention, for those who are divorced, love your enemies and pray for your persecutors. Whether they're remarried or not, some divorces are really, really rocky and traumatic and really hard. And pray for healing in that area. Some divorces, you just divorce as friends, and you go your separate ways, and you have a friendship for the sake of the children. So pray for your spouse, your ex-spouse, but also especially pray for your children, because they experience the effects of the divorce differently than you do. And fifth, for those who are single and are still open to the possibility of marriage, if that is God's divine will for you, pray that God bring you the right person in your life, that it be his plan and the person that he knows would be best for your plan for happiness, God's plan for your happiness. Also, those who are called to the single life and didn't want to have a single life, wanted to be married but never found the right person, pray for the peace of acceptance, because God's vocation of love is still ever alive in your life. And to pray for the peace of acceptance and knowing that you're not any less lovable in God's eyes. You're not in any way less than those who are called to be married. That you're just as equally lovable. And to pray for that acceptance and discovering God's vocation of love for you. Because God needs you to flourish in the gift of love that you have to offer in a way that is unique. And so to pray for the acceptance of that, yes, God has chosen me to a vocation of love. And it doesn't mean that I'm any less qualified for marriage as anyone else, but that God needs you where you are to bloom where you're planted. And to grieve, there's an important part of this, is also grieving the fact that I may not have been able to be married and be a parent. And to grieve the gift of that, so that way you can be free to live the gift of where you're called now. So as we celebrate this Eucharist and these couples renew their covenant, let us renew our covenant first and foremost with God. Because he is the love of all loves, and the only love that will not disappoint. Because those who are married, you know that to love is a bad one. It's funny, sometimes those who are married wish they weren't married, and those who aren't married wish they were. We're always admiring the ones on the other side. hear from the first reading that love is a battle. It's not easy. And we need grace. And ultimately, it's God's love that is the only love that does not disappoint. Because as human beings, we're so flawed and imperfect, we make mistakes. And inevitably, we're going to let down those who rely upon us. Because there is no perfect person. And yet we have to learn how to be comfortable with the imperfect, to accept the weakness, and to find grace in the midst of it. And so it is with faith that we celebrate love, especially the love of God as the center of all of our lives. So for the couples, please come forward.